Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm sorry that it's been quite a while again. I'm not getting much sleep in the past few weeks, and every time that I sit down and think, geez, should I do a recording? And I just think, no, 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 too tired. But I'm actually still too tired for tonight, but I've decided, no, I need, my viewers want me to finish this episode, so it's time to do it. Oh, it's time to do the Lake House Basement. The Lake House Basement, it really culminates pretty much every single power that we have in Cognition, and it's also one of the most complicated puzzles in the game, which made it real hassle to have it set up and tested, and kind of a hassle to play too. And so let's go ahead and get into this. Now, the context that I want to share first about this is that you may not realize it, but this... Well, first of all, you don't understand right now that there's a puzzle, but there's a puzzle and it requires both of this wheel table and this sarcophagus. They're both two pieces of the same puzzle. And when we were doing the focus testing, this caused problems. Especially this. Let's start with this first, because I guess this is really the quickest and easiest way to progress. I like to go to the sarcophagus first. If we go into
What
it...
is this? Another one of his games.
And how do we solve this one?
If I knew the answer, I would have already solved it.
We're going to find 4 levers, and every time that you pull one...
Looks like I can push these in and out. I should try moving them around.
Yeah, you're gonna find a bunch of tutorials for this particular one.
I'm not really sure what I'm doing here.
Erica's going to say a different feedback every time she pulls one of the sliders to a certain position. And when we were doing the focus test, you know, we had a couple testers who were able to get through the game pretty well up until this point. You know, there was someone who was stuck in here for 30 minutes, and this is someone who, you know, went through the Rose Antique puzzle really, really quickly, so this was a problem, and I think I know why.
Come on, open up, you piece of crap.
But first let me show you what this is about.
What's the trick to this thing?
Erica's gonna say something completely different every single time.
Erica, the stuff you're saying. Keep it up. I think I'm getting something related to it through my power that will help us open this thing.
That's... The last hint and the one that Cordelia just said were actually added in after the focus test to make this particular one a little bit easier. So...
I'm not really sure what I'm doing here.
Something new, you know, something new is said every time. So, let's switch to Cordelia and see what she has to say.
Any ideas, Cordelia? Come on, open up, you piece of crap.
So, if you go through
What's the trick to this thing?
to this second position on this lever,
Do you have any ideas, Cordelia?
you'll realize that the Any Ideas Cordelia matches the audio clip that was said in Cordelia's precog vision. And this audio clue was something that was really difficult for a lot of the focus testers, and I think the reason is, at least this is what I, you know, said afterward. You know, let's switch to Cordelia and show this one.
Really frustrating.
See, now that I've told you how it works, it kind of makes sense.
This is impossible.
But the trick that I think was a flaw in the design is that every time you move the lever down, the player gets negative feedback. And negative feedback generally means, you know, in your subconscious that, oh, you're doing it wrong. And so...
There's no way I can do this without help.
You know, someone can actually move this lever to this position, which is actually the way it's supposed to go.
Ugh, this is getting really frustrating.
And the first thing you're going to think is, oh, I did it wrong. So, you know, people are just moving the levers around and around until, you know, just waiting for Erica to say, aha, I did something right. But that's never going to happen, because the clue is just, you know, finding which negative feedback is matching, which is very unusual for a design.
Someone's about to die, and I'm here playing with a toy.
So that's why we had to add a bunch of extra hints for this particular
Open, damn it!
puzzle. And I'm noticing that,
Give up.
you know, I read the reviews and nobody's complaining about it now. So I think, you know, I think that the extra hints on this puzzle helped out a lot.
Great.
But the combination here is 2, 4, 4, 3. So.
Look at all this stuff. Nails and hair.
I didn't know he was this disturbed, at least not back when he was out killing freely.
This isn't uncommon for serial killers. Wait, what's this? My high school graduation ring? What is this doing? Oh, Scotty's bracelet. I wondered where this had gone.
He took a lot from from a lot of people. Did you know Davy's family?
What do you care? You murdered her.
Oh, snap. But yeah, so I think that's about right. Like, I think that's why this puzzle was particularly hard, at least for the focus testers that we had, was negative feedback. You just don't respond well to it, you know. So I think that's a little bit of an interesting thing to keep in mind if you're doing design, at least. You can go ahead and take all of these. They're all going to be either very important or semi-important, depending on whether or not you know the answers ahead of time or not. One thing you can do, I guess, while we're here, is if you open up Synergy, you can see that you can actually do some of the Synergy. And I'm going to try to... I don't even remember all of which goes to where. But I'm going to do the Synergy for Erica's trap, if I can find... I think... Was it the golden bracelet? No, what? It was... I really think it was, yeah. I always just, never mind, I'll talk about it when we get to the particular puzzle I'm talking about. But you can do Synergy on every single one of these trophies, plus something else coming up. Now, these are all things from the first episode, of course, but if we do Synergy on, you know, something like looking for the George Brothers thing, because I think that was in the prequel comic, I think. Yeah. I think the gold watch went with the golden bracelet, yeah. Pretty sure that one was in the comic. So that doesn't help right now, but each of these corresponds to the 4 traps that we're seeing here. This is the next step to go to.
This looks familiar. Seen it before?
I have, but not put together like this.
He knows about us, doesn't he?
Of course, and he must be experimenting on us right now. How long would a pair of scions take to solve this puzzle? I can almost hear him.
You didn't even plan all of it, did you? It was him.
He helped me put it together. He gave me ideas.
He played you, that's what he did.
No, I was in control.
Where is he then?
You were supposed to kill him.
What a stupid plan.
Which, fair enough, is a stupid plan. This particular part of the puzzle isn't that bad. What you're trying to do is, oh, I think if you look at it, hold on, I'm trying to get a particular message, but I forget how it triggers.
Another one of Cain's games. What are we supposed to do with these?
If I know Keith, it's some sort of combination.
This is your clue. There is a conversation that I'm trying to trigger, but I don't remember how you did it. But you have the 2011, which is the present time in this game. There's 2018 when this project is going to be completed, and 1998 when this project began. So what happens is if you use Erica's and Cordelia's power, pay attention to the lines, you'll see that the lines connect differently in 1998. That was with Erica's power. If I switch to Cordelia's power, in 2018, the lines connect this way. And this is really just a measure of matching which
I think
ones.
I can press them. I'll leave this to Erica.
Oh, whoops. It's just a matter of matching which buttons were consistent throughout all three of these years, and that's this one, this one, this one, and this one.
I'm getting tired of this game.
What are you going to do when we find Keith?
He's going to answer for what he's done. What do you want it to be, Cordelia?
I don't know. What matters to me is that he understands that I'm doing this for him too. Maybe to make up for what he's done to all those people. For what he did to you and your brother. Maybe I should have come right to you, Erica, instead of trying to connect from a distance.
What about what you've done?
Alright, you can go ahead and grab these. Now the next part is... oh boy. This one is a real big one. To explain, like the walkthrough, I was like, how the hell am I gonna write this? Okay, so the point is there's 12 holes, and you now have 12 figurines plus 8 trophies that you can use synergy on. And using all of these, you're able to know which holes to put these all in. The way you're supposed to do it is, I guess you would start with Cordelia, and you will see that there's 3 different quadrants in this on this table. And I think that's easier to start here because this is actually, well, you'll find out. But yeah, let's start with quadrant south.
This is where the group for this trap goes.
Okay, so you're supposed to look first for a figurine that looks like the one we just saw, and you can zoom in on them. Is
Only read blood. Oh.
It's not this one. Could be this one.
The wheel from that tomb door.
Yeah.
I still have scars.
So from Erica's precog, you saw that this figurine, the Erica wheel trap figurine, looks like the one that was in this quadrant. So you want to stick it in whichever.
This one doesn't fit.
Whichever one in this quadrant fits. I think it's actually this one. So now that you know it's the Erica, you know, this is kind of the Erica trap. These are all the quadrants are related to the 4 traps that are in this room. So that's why I'm starting with Erica, is because, you know, we're most familiar with that. If we do... If we do synergy with... the ring and the... bracelet strip? Yeah. Pay attention to what we see. Okay, we see that wheel. And we see the spike trap. And there's going to be... Oh no, actually the message was the only read blood. You really have to look at the synergies and pay attention to every single piece of the memory that makes sense to these particular figurines. Now, obviously, the Scott Trap figurine is going to correspond on this quadrant, as well as there's one for the wheel. No, sorry. Erica, or only read blood. So that's solved. Now we have to do the rest of these, and since we're not as familiar with these murders, it's a little more tricky. But
this is where the group for this trap goes.
okay, I think this is the. Oops. I never actually do synergy when I was testing. I actually can't, because when I videos like the synergy, you know, videos don't show up in my particular testing screen, because videos don't show up in the free version of Unity, so I never see them. I think it's this. So I always tested with like a Rosetta Stone showing me where everything went, and I rarely solve this way, so that's why it's taking me a little bit of a while to get it right. So, sorry about that. I probably should have practiced.
Another figurine.
No, it's not this one. Looking for the spike trap, I believe. Yeah.
These could be the spikes from that sarcophagus.
Yeah, so that's the match for the quadrant here. So just stick that in there. Spike trap, where are you? Yeah, of course, there's also, you know, so many of these that you have to navigate. Okay. So we're looking for a synergy image. Oops. We're looking for a synergy image that corresponds with the spike trap. So let's try something that looks like spikes. I think it's this one. Might not be. Yeah, that's the one. So in that image we saw... No, it's not that one. Sorry. I'm showing off the wrong image. Oh boy, this... You know, aside from the fact that I haven't slept in 30 hours and all this, I knew this episode was going to be a real pain in the butt. Okay, hold on. It's this one. And I think that corresponds with the wedding band, yeah? Yeah, that's the coffin. And you have the coffin, you have he breathe... he bleeds, you breathe. You saw that message on the coffin. It said, you breathe, he bleeds. Or, sorry. What does it say? You bleed, he breathes. There we go. This corresponds here. And there's one called coffin, because we saw you know, him in a coffin. So there's that quadrant. Let's go to the next one.
He used all of the...
He's just trying to
Now the good thing about solving all of it this way is that you can just use, you know, process of elimination on the last one, which is what I do. So, whoops, I'm doing this out of order. First thing you want to do is switch to Cordelia and precog this last quadrant here.
This is where the group for this trap goes.
Okay, I believe that is... Oops. I believe that is... Bars and Moon? I think that's it.
This is the door trap
Yeah.
that killed one of Cain's victims.
So we know that we can place the Bars and Moon one here.
This one...
Well, somewhere around here.
This one...
Okay, let's do... Let's see the synergy image of this one again. Let's see, this is the fingernails. I think that corresponds with this, yeah. So blood buys him time. And you see an Iron Maiden. So let us put those together because I know that there is an Iron Maiden and here we go. And blood buys him time. And I'm not gonna do this last one. Obviously you can just use process of elimination. And I also already I already showed off the George siblings one.
This one...
And my god, if I don't have this correct, I'm gonna scream. There we go.
Is that...
Still sure you were the one in control?
Okay, hard part's done. So what we need to do is look at this creepy Cordelia figurine.
Consider this. There is a Max figurine. It's in a place only Cordelia would know.
anything?
He talked to me. He says the next one is Max's, and that only you would know where it is.
Damn you, Keith. Can you give me one thing straight? Let's look around to see if my memory triggers.
Alright, so we can't progress until we, explore a little more. But you can start to see how, the basement was a really, really, really difficult scene to set up because holy crap, that and we're not even done with that table. I mean, that table was just oof. I mean, I'm glad it worked as well as it did, although unfortunately there was a critical bug that showed up after release that I never thought about, but in any case, it got patched in pretty quickly, so if you haven't played the game at this point, it's already fixed. But in any case, what we want to do here is, as Cordelia, look at the fireplace here.
Max would spend hours there. Maybe this is what Keith meant. This was Max's favorite place in the house.
Now we need to put out the fire to search through it.
So switch to Erica. We have the cup of water that we filled up earlier.
This should help. Now let's look. I found Max, I think.
You can keep it.
I thought you liked his games.
I never did. That was the problem.
Alright, first thing to do is to use combination. We want to look at this, well actually, it doesn't make sense unless I do this first, really.
It's badly burned. There's something written on it, but it's way too small for me to read.
Which is why we should use the magnifying glass.
It says, "Find a light in the darkness." Any ideas?
No, but I can look around and see if I remember anything.
Okay. Next step you want to do is here. Look at this.
This must be Cordelia's father with someone important.
Oh, family photo again, of course. How did this work again? I think you switched to good. Well, actually, no, you don't have to switch to Cordelia. I just usually do that out of habit. But you do need to have this equipped, and then look at the picture using the inventory button.
That's Daddy. Things would be so different if he was still around. He's with Senator Aaron Light. Good man.
She had a niece. Davies did. She loved her to pieces. When she was around, you could almost see Davies smile. Maybe she wasn't perfect, but she didn't deserve what you did to her. Even if she didn't help you when she could have, even if you went to prison. Maybe she didn't deserve her rank, but everyone deserves to live.
Daddy would have said that. He liked people that did good. He said the senator's last name was not a coincidence. Wait, Aaron Light. A light. Look for a light. Keith, you tricky little...
Okay. So... the clue has to do something with this picture, and now we can flip
look at
it.
This.
Did he hide it there?
Only one way to find out.
Let's switch to Erica and use this... Well, okay, we see a bulge here.
That won't work there.
Let us use that razor blade we got from the bathroom and open it.
Here, let me take a look. Ugh.
I'd be very eager to kill him if I were you.
My job is justice, not revenge. I'm not like you.
We'll see, when the two of you are face to face.
So yeah, we got a really creepy Erica figurine. Let's take a zoom on it.
Cain's figurine of me. Fucking creepy.
Let's see. There's also the Max one, which is creepy, and the Cordelia one is downstairs. So let's go ahead and look at it. So if you ever use your powers after doing the post-cog on the figurine the first time, you'll see that there's green particles. And green particles always means projection, which was your clue to, you know, get the other figurines. Whoops. Including... What am I doing? I gotta put these in there first. The Eric figurine and the Max figurine.
There's
Stick
one
them here.
missing. This must be who we're looking for. Knowing Keith, we're not going to find it easily. We'll need to figure this one out.
Okay, time to use projection and see what it is that Keith is hiding.
What the fuck? Dad! No. No! You knew about this!
No, but I know where they are now. I just saw it.
Shit. They must have followed me.
I can leave through the back, but you have to help me.
Oh, shit. Go!
You'll need this.
Where Scott died?
We'll save your dad. He's one of the good guys.
No I in team, eh? But there is a me in team. Oh yeah, man, this turned out really well. This was actually... We had this set up really well, like, very early in production, actually. The moving landscape.
What were you doing back there?
That doesn't matter. You have to listen to me.
If you are not going to answer my questions, save it for your attorney, Reed.
We pretty much had this particular scene finalized within like 2 months before release. I mean, this was pretty much the first scene that we had completed. It's also one of the least complicated scenes, and also I wrote the hints. Whoa, what's lagging up here? Jeez. I wrote the hints for it and coded them and stuck them into the logic. So I'm gonna show them all. Just because when else am I going to do it?
I've really done it this time. How the hell am I gonna get out of this? How am I gonna get him to come with me, willing to know?
But yeah, we are in a bad situation. One thing to note, in the last part of that basement, Cordelia said that that Erica would need something. She actually gave Erica this caltrop. It may not have been very clear, but
it's very sharp.
Cordelia gave us this. Let's equip it. So yeah, let's look at the hints. So yeah, this is a hint that Cordelia gave us something, so this hint that we need to use the other caltrops. But we need to talk to McAdams a little bit.
McAdams.
What?
Can we stop for a minute? I'm getting carsick.
I wasn't born yesterday, Reed. Suck it up.
Jerk.
I also wasn't born deaf. Or blind.
It's an eye roll. I was always hoping that it would eventually turn out to be like her sticking her tongue at him, but oh well, it was never meant to be, I suppose. So what we actually want to do here is roll down the window.
McAdams locked the windows. Only he can roll it down.
And that made a hint. So yeah, this is a cop car, so the cop can't. Only the police can roll down these windows. So we need to talk to McAdams again.
McAdams.
What?
Mind rolling the window down? Your cologne's killing me here.
Fine.
Also, let's keep talking to him just for fun.
Yeah, right. He's not gonna listen to a word I have to say as long as he's in control of this situation. I need to get out of these cuffs and into that driver's seat. Somehow.
By the way, it's a really good thing that there's nobody else like coming down on this road. A very empty road. We got a new hint out of that. You have to stop that car even if it means being destructive. So yeah, you know what I'm talking about. You gotta drop this thing out of the window.
What are you doing?
Trying to stretch. You might not know this, but sitting in a car in cuffs, not very comfortable. I need some noise in here.
Oh, well, how are we gonna get noise? Oh, maybe we should convince McAdams to put the music on. Well, okay. Let's talk to McAdams again.
McAdams.
What?
Fine, you win the quiet game. Turn on the radio at least.
Your comfort is not my concern at this point.
Why don't we talk about what you did to Cordelia Smith then? You want to discuss that? Because I could spend the whole ride talking about it.
Fine. Radio it is.
Let's see, I believe this band is, the band of, our vice president. Like, they have a band or something. I don't quite know how it worked. I like the song, though, in any case. Let's look for a hint. Oh, Cordelia gave us something. Well, okay. Let's stick it out the window.
Shit! What the fuck was that? I do not need this right now.
Now, this is actually timed, so I have to be quick. This is stupid. I can't believe I ever wrote this hint, because no one's ever gonna read it except for now. You know, it's our chance to take control. Oh.
I've got one shot at this. I need to knock him out somehow.
Because he stopped the car and put an end to our shenanigans. Okay. I've read that some people are, you know, a little saying, you know, she wasn't killed in action. Well, you wouldn't know. Problem is, I think this, yeah. The retry used to put you at the radio, but at some point it went back to the beginning of the...
What?
Yeah, it took you back to the beginning of the scene, which is unfortunate. So I'll just quickly do this.
This is not...
Oops. So sorry about having to do this twice, but I'll be quick about it. But yeah, I can't believe I just stuck in a hint that, you know,
McAdams.
What?
only happens if you are stuck for the 5 seconds that you have control.
What are you doing?
McAdams. Fine.
You're...
Okay, let's try that again. Let's try that again.
Shit! What the fuck?
Okay, choke him.
What do you... Stop!
Believe it or not, I really am sorry. But I don't have time for this.
Are you fucking insane, Reed? Let me out of these cuffs now!
I can't do that, McAdams. Cain is out there, and if I don't bring you to her, he's going to kill my father.
What the hell are you talking about?
McAdams,
Save it. I have no interest in anything you have to say at this point, Reed. You attacked a federal agent. You tortured a man and almost killed him to get information, and now you handcuff your supervisor? How the fuck do you think this is going to end?
Alright. This is a place where we can, you know, we can develop McAdams' trust and distrust. As usual, I'm going to drop his trust, but there's a very good reason why I'm showing off. I'm doing this way with distrust, because distrust gives us more options in the very near future. So this is obviously going to drop his trust.
It didn't need to go down like this. If you'd listened to me, trusted me, we could have worked together on this.
That's a bullshit excuse and you know it.
Oh, you know what your problem is, McAdams. You're a control freak. You don't trust anyone. You didn't trust Cordelia Smith. You didn't trust me when Scott was kidnapped. And you haven't trusted me since you showed up here again.
Reed, goddammit. Anyone that pulls half the shit you've pulled over these years would have been fired on the spot. You still had your job because Davies and I knew you were a good agent. My job requires me to do things by the book. You don't like the book. I get that. But what I've done to protect you, and your life will be much easier the minute that you understand that I'm not your enemy. What do you know about Cordelia Smith?
Now, everything he said is pretty correct. I mean, let's be honest. Erica is one of the most incompetent people I've ever seen in a job. So, I mean, it's not like McAdams is, you know, completely out to get her. She's just a bitch. Sorry to say.
I know the truth. I know what you did. Ignored her, arrested her, the cover-up, all of it.
You refuse to stop living in the past, Reed. Mistakes happen. They may be tragic, but there's no going back.
You're wrong. The past is who we are, McAdams. If you're just shrugging it off, ignoring it, you're not even trying to learn from it.
You can either move forward or stay stuck where you are, Reed. But hanging on to it hasn't done you any favors so far. You aren't the only one who lost someone you cared about.
Yeah.
I know you're still hung up on me because of Jeddah. You think I don't regret how that went? Wouldn't you still be looking for Stelios if John hadn't killed him that night?
The difference is that I wouldn't have gone out on a personal vendetta. You have too much responsibility for the people you've sworn to protect to be acting like that. The minute we make it personal is when we risk the lives of those who count on us.
So yeah, when Jeddah was killed, that was actually, you know, just now tracking whether or not his trust would have risen right now if Jeddah had lived and dropped if Jeddah had died, which is what we did in this playthrough. So yeah, you know, we were tracking stuff all the way back from there.
Look, I'm just asking you to listen. I'm not crazy. Cain is back out there, and he will kill my father if I don't hurry.
And what makes you so certain of any of that? The man's been a ghost for 3 years now. Are you sure this isn't your feelings clouding your judgment once again?
Still can't just take my word for it? I know Cain's profile better than anyone. You know that. And you still won't believe me.
With the way you've been acting? You shot John.
That was an accident.
You're FBI. Your job doesn't allow for accidents.
And I mean,
tried to tell
McAdams
you to
is
back up
not
and you
completely
refused.
wrong here.
You kept information from me then, and you are doing it now. Trust goes both ways, Reed.
Fine. Cordelia Smith is the one behind every killing, and the Cain Killer is her brother Keith Smith, aka Jeff Therian.
You're just pulling my leg now.
I'm not, but you're coming with me whether you want to or not.
Keith Smith has been missing and presumed dead for 6 years.
What a better way to get away with murder? He forced Cordelia to kill Max after learning he wasn't their biological brother. She took the blame, and he was free to disappear and keep killing. Think about it, McAdams. He fits the profile. Caucasian male, 25 to 45, highly intelligent, obsessed with his work, plenty of reasons to be hung up on close sibling relationships.
Shit. Then where the hell has he been for the last 3 years?
Chained up in the basement of the Enthon Towers.
What?
So what's it gonna be?
You've kidnapped a federal agent. There's no turning back now. Your story sounds like a
Alright, the
conspiracy
achievement
theory,
would have been called
but your work has
a
always
question
been
of
solid.
trust
So I'll
instead
come
of
if your
dust.
father is indeed
If
in danger. But
my
you stay within 2
trust
feet of
was
me.
above
Fine,
50%
but I'm
at this
keeping
point.
the gun for now.
How do you know where the hell you're heading?
Cordelia told me.
You just told me this woman is a murderer.
And she's also a victim of your negligence.
Are you justifying her, Reed?
No, McAdams. I know what my job is. I'm just saying that sometimes things aren't as black and white as I wish they were. Not even in that book of yours.
Now, there is a reason that I'm bringing McAdams' trust low. And that's going to be showing up very soon.
You came.
I told you I'd help. You brought him.
What do you want with him?
That is between him and me.
Reed, this is a mistake. Stop this before there's no turning back.
Please, not now.
So we're working with a killer now, Reed. Is that your big plan?
Listen, she brought me here. I feel I can trust her intentions.
So, back
He's
to
down.
where we came
If we
from.
want to save your father, we'll have to play his game. We'll have to let him capture us. Otherwise, the outcome, I can't see it ending well.
How is that a good plan at all?
We'll have a chance. I see these sorts of things, remember? You have to trust me.
Get me the fuck out of here! You'll betray me.
You've seen that one too? I told you, the future is a fickle thing. I do want to help you, Erica, but I am who I am. I make no promises about what happens down there.
The same. I can't promise what I'll do after my father is safe. Are you ready?
You two are crazy. Are you giving me my gun, Reed?
Keep your voice down.
Don't give it to him. It's all part of it.
Reed, you have to be stupid not to give me back my gun.
Give it to me, Erica.
Alright, so here's how this works. If you were nice to McAdams throughout the game, if his trust was above 50% at this point, this particular thing would not happen. Erica would give the gun to McAdams automatically, or sorry, it's the other way around. Erica would have given the gun to Cordelia automatically, but since... hold on, let me get that right. Right. This is this is McAdams' trust. If McAdams' trust is above 50% at this point, this wouldn't happen. Erica would just give him the gun. But since it's below 50%, there's a choice. You can either give it to McAdams or you can give it to Cordelia. At this point, I'm going to give it to Cordelia to raise her trust. Yeah, this would either raise her trust, and this would drop her trust. Right, that's how it worked. Oh my gosh, it's been 2 weeks before I had to know this. I told you this episode is complicated on the whole logic thing, right? In any case, I'm going to give this to McAdams. No. I don't want McAdams to have the gun. Or do I? Hold on. Which sequence is cooler? Let's give McAdams a no, because if I give it to McAdams, that locks me out of something I want to show. So let's do the Cordelia one.
You didn't want to help me. She can carry the gun.
Sorry, there's two different things, so I wanted to choose whichever one looked a little better for later.
Still. Why do you have to bring a full party? It makes things more difficult.
Let him go, you bastard! Didn't you get enough with Scott?
No, I've been waiting too long to finish this, and it has to be done right. Cordelia, would you tie Erica to this? And if you try anything, I will shoot someone, and that might be you. Apologies, Agent.
Yeah, you'd think that McAdams would, do something, but no. He just gets clobbered.
Make sure those are tight. Did you take her weapon?
Yes.
And his?
You don't need to worry about him. He's my problem.
So this is not a good situation.
I can see you both. You wanted to copy me eventually, Cordelia. Isn't that right? Kill me? The same I kill?
I never wanted to kill you, Keith.
No, you just made me wish I was dead. The Cordelia I loved, she would never be so cruel.
You changed everything when you made me kill Max. And we're here now and can't even talk the way we used to. That connection only you and I had. I don't want you dead, but for this to stop, you have to die.
It's a mystery to me what goes on in your beautiful brain sometimes. But
This is where the villain monologue, shows up.
Death, but you do have a conscience, Cordelia, and you've been suppressing it so you could act freely. But when it wakes up, when moms and dads and Max's memory awaken you, there won't be a swift death that will allow your brain to cope with what you've done to get here. Your domino effect failed, just as I knew it would. Agent Reed never killed me. And so, who will kill me now, sister? It won't be you. We both know that your conscience wouldn't let you. Exactly my thoughts. And Erica Reed, I've learned so much about you over the years. Now we finally get to be properly introduced. I'm curious to know how much pain you can endure. As I push this lever, this spike will move towards you. If you scream, if you do so much as whisper. I will press this at full speed in the other direction, over to your father. It will kill him instantly.
What do you get from all this?
It's a subject that's always interested me, these human connections of love and family, because the only time I felt a connection to her, she preferred someone else. So, shall we begin the experiment?
I mean, I'll go ahead and say it. It's pretty clear that Keith has a very unhealthy lust, I suppose, for Cordelia. But you know, that's never really said, but it's pretty obvious. And I guess that's part of what made him snap, was the realization that they're not related, but they could never really be together because, you know, they were raised as brother and sister. So I think it's part of what was going on there. In any case, this is actually one of the last saving points in the game, and so this is going to be the last video, or the second to last video for this episode, and so this actually took longer than I expected. I wanted to get to this point, but I thought it would be a lot shorter. So, in any case, I hope you enjoyed the long episode then, and I will see you in the final episode next time. So, see you then. Later.